I would say absolutely. I think that they are, from a development standpoint, their underwriting, to brag a little bit better than a lot of ground up multifamily is nowadays. Being involved on the consulting side, I see a lot of multifamily development, working with other developers, trying to find them financing. And the point that I've seen them struggle with is they have to build to scale to get these things to pencil correctly.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show. Today's guest, Jonathan Orr out of Boise, Idaho, is a developer and consultant with experience in multifamily and industrial. He's focused on developing affordable flex spaces designed specifically for small business owners and entrepreneurs. As a consultant, his team specializes in securing financing and also financial feasibility analysis. You can find him at 365advisors.com. Jonathan, thanks for taking the time today.
Yeah, Dylan, no, I appreciate it.
When we talk specifically about flex spaces, I think some people may not know immediately what that entails. What is considered a flex space?
Flex space can be a very broad term. You have flex space, light industrial, as a lot of people refer to it, that was built mostly in the 70s, maybe in the 80s. That was really tailored towards industrial users or non-retail users that were not doing any sort of heavy manufacturing. Obviously, you have, power plants and coal mines and sugar operations and heavy, manufacturing, where light industrial was a space that was developed for those that may be storing materials. They may be, doing some light sales. Back then was via catalog or direct business to business. So the light industrial space is essentially those that aren't manufacturing petroleum, and doing anything outside of that.
So it really could encompass a wide number of services, right? Um, when you're looking at tenants specifically, is this something that comes into play? Are you almost like underwriting the tenants, if you will, or is it less, I guess, stringent on that front when it comes to, I guess, vetting the tenants for these spaces?
Definitely looking at the tenant makeup is important because not from a leasing standpoint, but more from a regulation standpoint. When you are developing, such as I do, where we're identifying a piece of dirt essentially and going from there, going through approvals, of site plans and building specs, and and hopefully making it to vertical construction. The cities typically have requirements and specifications of what constitutes light industrial use. Again, they don't want to have someone come in and be, as the joke that we always say is, someone making plutonium in a, light industrial space just because it's close to their house. They're looking for those that are not going to have any heavy contaminations. There's a lot of restrictions you'll see with things such as welding, for example, and that's mostly because of the venting and pollution aspects of it.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
So I don't want to say that we're underwriting the tenants. For the light industrial, the other difference is it's much different than what you'll see driving down the freeway, maybe, and you'll see the 150,000 square foot Amazon distribution center. We're looking at multi-tenant spaces. For example, our project in the Phoenix, Arizona market that we're actively working on and now in the equity raising phase, that has a total of upwards of 95 different spaces for tenants. So we're going to have a heavy mix of those that are entrepreneurs. We call it as they've outgrown their kitchen table business. Those that are selling online retail, subcontractors that, their wife is sick of them having the work truck in the driveway, 7 days a week. So it's yes, taking a look at the tenants is important, but it's not the end all be all. We're just focusing on those that need a smaller space, that maybe they don't need 10,000 square feet. They need, 2,500 square feet.
I would like to ask you specifically about, underwriting these deals. I've heard from multifamily developers that it's tough to get a multifamily, ground up construction to pencil. But I've also heard that things may be different, very different potentially in the industrial space. Are you seeing that as well? That maybe these industrial deals are underwriting for ground up construction more so than multifamily?
I would say absolutely. I think that they are, from a development standpoint, they're underwriting, to brag a little bit better than a lot of ground up multifamily is nowadays. Being involved on the consulting side, I see a lot of multifamily development working with other developers, trying to find them financing. And the point that I've seen them struggle with is they have to build to scale to get these things to pencil correctly. It's with just construction costs nowadays, it's hard to build a 25 unit apartment complex. They need to build a 400 unit apartment complex. Whereas we on the industrial side, obviously, it's not multi-story. I don't know of anyone that has been able to break the multi-story industrial space yet. So we're looking at, one level, much simpler construction. But with that, what we're looking at is having the smaller spaces is we're able to constitute a higher price per square foot. Very similar to, and I don't know if you or your audience is familiar. A lot of multifamily developers are looking at developing more studios in new developments because it's the same principle. You can charge roughly the same amount of rent for a studio comparable to like a one bedroom, but it's a higher price per square foot for that unit. So we're finding that our underwriting is very comfortable. We're also looking at it for more long-term holds is our goal. Not to say that we want to adjust with what the capital markets are doing, but we find that it's much easier, of course, with the right land price, because it all starts with the right price for the land to be able to get these things to pencil correctly and be attractive investments.
Is it easier to get it zoned and permitted for industrial versus multifamily? Is that going to be location specific?
It is, I would say, in a general use, easier, um, because most of the time, like what we're targeting when we're looking at identifying potential project spaces, is most of the time it's already zoned under a light industrial or some sort of, commercial zoning that allows the building type that we use, and that's part of our due diligence. Things like myself and maybe a partner of mine that we look at even, making an offer on the land.
If you're looking for consistent, high quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
So, it's much easier to go from there if not having to necessarily do zone changes. And because we're also looking at doing anywhere from 2 to 4 acres is our targeted land size. We're not looking at doing a 25-acre multifamily space. So, it's the low hanging fruit that we're looking for, you could say. But with that being said, if there is a variance that's needed or even a potential zone change, the one thing that we're finding is, look, obviously multifamily is a very popular asset class to build and buy and invest in. But cities are very interested in business growth. They want to see businesses start in their communities, not just for the tax revenue, but for the, I guess the bragging rights of, hey, we're a very business healthy city and municipality. So when we come in, we're saying we're not looking for, a storage unit space, which is kind of comparable in a point to what we do, but we're looking at small businesses. We want people that are taking their wood turning business or maybe their hobby, and they're saying, "Hey, maybe I can turn this into a business," selling on Etsy or eBay or, their own website or even to their local community.
I don't know how much rents will drive i- these deals in industrial, but I'm imagining, similar to multifamily, that you have projected rents in an area, but also, is there an element of this which is maybe harder to nail because there's less data in industrial than say multifamily, or is there enough data out there that you really have a really good eye on, hey, this is exactly what this will rent for?
No, that's a great question. It is much more difficult than multifamily. You're looking at, yeah, and again, I wanna separate what I'm doing versus the 150,000 square foot distribution center. We're looking at a product that where I'm based in Boise, Idaho, and kind of the Western United States is not prevalent to the degree that other assets are. So we're having to do a lot of research and speak with a lot of people in the industry, whether it be, sales brokers, debt brokers, other owners, maybe throughout the country, and seeing what they're leasing for and renting for, trying to do comparative analysis of, okay, this person is in St. Louis, Missouri that has a similar product that they own. What are they charging and how is that the same or different than maybe a location we're looking at? And one of the things that we really do is we bring in third party feasibility groups to run basically rent analysis, demand analysis to justify our numbers because we come in and we know what we need it to rent for, looking at the market, but bringing in the third party to solidify that is very important.
Now, for folks who, let's say themselves, are entrepreneurs, they're small business owners, and they're thinking, okay, I need some type of space. Currently, and this is again from my like 1,000 foot view outside looking in, they've got a number of options. They can go to some type of like co-working. They can go, buy an office, maybe in some type of office park type of situation, or they could do these flex spaces. Is there like one avatar of a person who would go to a flex space versus, some other type of small office space?
Yeah, I would say no. There's really not, and I'll give you an example. A good partner of mine that is active and part of my general partnership for our Phoenix project right now did this exact model that we're talking about in Las Vegas. His company still owns it to this day. And his tenant mix up, if you look at his project is a little bit bigger. I believe it's close to 100 different tenants at any given time.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
His tenant makeup is extremely fascinating, where he has the people that are, I would say, what you would normally think of, those that are trying to have, you know, kind of small distribution areas, because they need maybe a roll-up door with easy truck access, the subcontractors that, can't be hauling lumber or tools up, maybe 2 or 3 flights of stairs in an office building. But at the same time, he has an accounting firm that was tired of renting the office space, paying for, the general facilities that, come with an office, the lobby, the stuff like that. And they moved into a space that was habitable because, we're providing, amenities that can allow that. That's one of the differences that we're doing. And he has, as I said, an accounting firm, a small guy that just wanted a more private space. We also see that really being impactful ever since actually 2020. People were kind of afraid to go back into the 5-story office building. They wanted something that was their own private door, not having to walk down communal hallways or something. So our flex space, again, I'm not going to say that someone's going to open a retail shop because we don't have drive-by traffic. That's not our main motivation. But we see anything from photographers, hobbyists, people that have small, kind of distribution sales, business to business companies out there. So it's a wide range of people that, again, are just looking for a private space that is usable. And I think that's the main impact, again, is most light industrial that's been built. If you go look at what is out there, light industrial typically means 5 or 10,000 square feet or more. For mid-size, or growing companies. We target smaller spaces that, even if you cut the rents in half for 10,000 square feet, if you rent 2,000 square feet, that is maybe 2 or 3 times the price per square foot, it's still cheaper overall. And they're able to utilize that space and not have, 80% just empty warehouse, let's say.
We are coming up on time here, Jonathan. Any new projects that you're working on? And then as well, what's the best way for folks to get in contact with your team?
Sure. Yeah, as I had mentioned, we have an active project in the Phoenix, Arizona market that we're entitled. We're through our first round of construction drawings on, and we're kind of looking for the remaining equity for that, either LP, common, co-GP type equity for that. We're also identifying some early stage projects in Salt Lake City, Boise, where I live. So those are, we're looking to keep the pipeline full and be programmatic in our approach for development. The best way to reach out to me, I'm on LinkedIn. It's a heavy one that I use and have connections. Jonathan Orr, that's ORR. You can look at my website, which is 356advisors.com. That explains, kind of the background. I've done retail development, multifamily, a lot of acquisition stuff. So kind of, gives my varied background. But those are the two main, I think, avenues. And you could email me JORR at 356advisors.com.
Jonathan, thanks for taking the time today. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.